In a quiet village surrounded by green hills lived an elderly woman. She didn't have much, just a small house, a few goats, and her garden. But everyone in the village said one thing about her. She was always smiling. One afternoon, a young man walked up to her and said, "Mom, you're always happy. Why? Don't you ever feel sad when life gets hard?" She looked at him, smiled gently, and said, "My child, let me tell you a story. When I was young, I was married. We were poor but content. One day, my husband fell sick. We had no money for treatment. I watched him suffer. And one night, he quietly left this world." Tears welled up in her eyes as she spoke. My world broke that day. But I still had my 2 daughters. They needed me. So I wiped my tears and stood up. I started working, farming, sewing, anything. And each day I promised myself, I will find at least one reason to smile. She looked at the young man and continued. Some days, that reason was the blooming flower near my window. Some days, it was the laughter of my girls. And on tough days, it was just the hope that tomorrow might be better. The young man asked, "But what if something really bad happens again?" The old woman paused and softly said, "Then I will cry. I will scream if I must. But once the storm passes, I will stand again. Because every pain teaches us something valuable." The young man stood up, deeply moved. "I want to live like you," he said. The old woman smiled. She placed a hand on his shoulder and said, "You already can. But don't wait till life forces you to choose joy. Choose it now." Years later, that same young man grew into a wise teacher. But one day, he returned to the village, only to find the old woman's house locked and broken. He asked the neighbors, "Where is she?" They replied, "She passed away years ago. But the strange thing is, she left behind no money, no family, only one thing." He was led into her house. There, written on the wall in chalk were the words, "Be happy. That's the only thing you truly own." His eyes filled with tears. The woman had given him the most powerful gift of all, the choice to live happily in any situation. If you felt something from this story, share it with someone who might need this message today. And if you believe in the strength of quiet wisdom, subscribe for more stories that touch the heart. Because happiness isn't something you find, it's something you choose.